Hey gorgeous, happy April. I cannot believe I'm already talking to you guys about the things that are happening in the garden in April. If I could describe this month, it would be just busy, busy, busy. I have a lot of things going on. I have a lot of things to prepare for, and I'm excited to share everything that I have going on with you. As far as seeds that I am going to start this month in April to be able to transplant in my garden at the end of April, beginning of May, here in central Indiana, are things like zinnias, sunflowers. Those things are only going to take me 2-3 weeks before I'm ready to plant them outside, so they're going to be more like towards the middle of the month. But I'm also going to start things like cucumbers, summer squash, nasturtiums. I did start nasturtiums already, but I bought those seeds locally, and when I took those seeds out of the packages, they were not the seeds that I'm used to when it comes to nasturtiums. They just really look really old, and they were as hard as rocks, and they were really black. So I tried them, I soaked them, I planted them. I have about 5% germination now after almost being there for 2 weeks. So I'm not really hoping too much for those seeds, but I did order more seeds from Baker Creeks, and I'm hoping that depending when they arrive, I might just put those guys in a 6 sale for the sale, or maybe I'll just keep those all together. I do have plenty of seeds for hyacinth beans, so I am going to start those for the sale and for myself. I have plenty of spaces outside where I want to just pop them here and there for some texture. Those things take off really quickly for me once they're established. Because I have the extra seeds, I am going to have also those for the sale. And I actually posted on Instagram a few days ago that I did start hyacinth beans about 2 weeks ago, and those things are just taking off. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I'm going to have to redo those here in about a week or so. So as far as seeds go, those are really the only things that I am going to be doing in April. Everything that I already planned to grow and to sell, it already started, it already is germinated, and it's almost ready for me to pat them into their last final pat. I'm going to be making another video talking about pricing and sizes for the things that I am growing for the sale, as well as some other things that I'm considering. So I am not going to go too much on this video. The raised beds that I have in front of the garage, the ones that I installed this year, are doing amazing, you guys. I actually already have a bunch of cool flowers planted there. They're doing great. I did find a couple of bunnies hanging out there. I did find a couple of snapdragons that were eaten, and that was it. Everything else has been left alone. I am trying to leave my dog outside a little bit more often to kind of, mark the territory and just kind of hang out here and there. So maybe that will push the bunnies to stay away from my backyard. I do mention that I have a lot of bunnies in my backyard. I live in a neighborhood where I see them all the time. But as far as them eating things in my garden, I never have problems with that. So we'll see. We'll see how we go this year about that. This month, hopefully, I can finish that whole area. I still have to get more pine nugget mulch and the stones to edge the area of those raised beds in front of the garage, because I got some, but it wasn't enough, and I have been meaning to do it, but it's always one thing or the other. Having things inside growing from seed and having things to do outside is always so much going on. I feel like March and April is always so busy with those things going on. So sometimes I just have priorities. The things outside in the raised beds are going to grow no matter if they have mulch around them. I can really push all those things until summer if need to. But I do want to just get it done just so it looks nice. It looks done. And I can just cross off from the to-do list. Another big thing that is happening this month, at least for me, is that Lowe's is going to have their yearly mulch sale. Normally, I get my mulch from them in bags. Yes, I do not get my mulch in bulk, mainly because it doesn't really work out for me. If I get my mulch in bulk, I'm going to have to get a few yards, and I'm going to have the mulch sitting on the back alley for weeks, probably months, before I'm able to just get them where they need to be, because I'm not quite prepared. I'm never prepared for the mulch to be done all at once. So getting the mulch in bags from Lowe, especially when they have their sale, is just so much easier, so much more convenient for me to handle the mulch. I don't have to scoop anything. I can just move the bags where I need to, and Normally what happens is that I go a few trips to the store when they have their sale, and then I just grab as many bags as possible. And if I need to, I just go back throughout the summer and then just get a few more bags. But I don't put mulch in every single corner in my garden. But in areas where it's visible, in areas where it needs a little bit more detail, like the front of the house, I concentrate on those a little bit better than something that it's on the backyard. This month, I am also going to be pruning my hydrangea hedge. I did not get to do that in March. Again, priorities. I knew that I had to do it, but I can always just push it a little bit more towards April. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen this month. And also, I am going to be pruning my boxwood hedges. I have a lot of those going on. I have a electric, one of those electric edgers. I don't know what they're called, but I got that from the wall. It has been one of the best investments that I have made when it comes to my garden. Having to prune boxwood hedges by hand with pruners, it would just be so much time consuming and so much harm myself. Instead, I just use the electric tool, and it's really done in a few minutes, and it's easier for me that way. This one, I'm also going to get some fertilizer, probably the plant tone from Spoma, to fertilize both my hydrangeas and my boxwoods. If you have been following the channel, you know that I have a bunch of Dahlia tubers that I purchased this year because I lost so many through the winter months that didn't really overwinter really well. So I bought a bunch of new varieties, and I have been taking cuttings from those. And they really took their time waking up, but once I started taking cuttings from those tubers, 3 or 4 more sprouts will pop up instantly. And I am definitely done taking cuttings. I am going to place those tubers in bigger pots, bigger containers, so they can just finish developing into bigger plants so that they're ready to transplant. So if you have tubers that you just receive in the mail and you want to wake them up a little bit early, get them a little bit of ahead of the game, you can put them in big containers, use some regular good quality potting mix, and take it easy on the water because they don't need too much water right now. They just need a little bit of moisture. And hopefully in a few weeks, you can start seeing some sprouts. And normally you do this with tubers about 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. For me, it is definitely time to put them in bigger containers so they can just finish getting there. For my own garden, I have 2 big things going on this month. One is the seedling sale. You probably have heard me talk about it for the last few months here. I am going to be selling some annual vegetables and flowers, kind of like a jar sale, but for plants. And the other thing is that I am going to be opening my roadside stand for cut flowers, which is going to be tulips this month. The only thing that I have going on right now that is looking like they're going to be blooming in April are tulips. Fingers crossed. So the seedling sale. Things are going well as far as planning and planting for the seedlings that I am going to be selling more than likely towards the end of April. I have been posting on my personal Facebook account about the sale and things that I'm going to be growing, and I have actually had a lot of interest from people that want to buy from me. And normally I'm not the biggest fan of Facebook, but I feel like this is really the best platform for me to show people or to announce that I'm going to be having this sale. And I have had some messages from you guys about where to order the seedlings, how much is going to be for shipping. The sale is just going to be a local sale. So in front of my house, I'm just going to have a few tables where I'm going to have all of the plants that I have grown indoors, and hopefully people that will see the stuff on Facebook or people that will see the signs outside, kind of like a garage sale like I mentioned, but for plants. That's really how it's going to be. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's not going to be anything where you can order online. So if you are local to Indianapolis, to Hamilton County, and you want to check it out, send me a message, email me, and I will give you all that information. As I said, things are going well with planning for this sale. And a lot of the things that I am growing or that I'm planning to sell are things that I am familiar with. I am selling tomatoes, I am selling coleus, I am selling peppers. And because I have been growing those for seeds for the last 6 years, I know when to start them. I know how big I want them to be by the time that the seedling sale happens. However, this year I changed mediums. I went with a better quality potting mix, and because of that, the speed, the growth of my seedlings indoors has almost doubled. I had peppers being a huge size in a 2.5-inch container in a 4-week period. That has not happened to me before. Normally peppers are super slow to grow. They take a good, I don't know, almost close to 2 months to get to that size. And that's why I started a bunch of those in February. So guess what? I have peppers that are huge by now. And I still have a good 3 or 4 weeks before the sale. So I did have to start over with peppers. I did have to start over also with hyacinth beans. My hyacinth beans, they took 2 weeks to be to the size that I wanted them. And that hasn't happened to me before. So I am taking a lot of notes. I actually have a huge calendar where I'm keeping track of everything that I'm growing, when I'm growing them. And next year I'm just going to have to tweak a lot of those dates because, again, this year the medium that I'm growing is too good. And the other thing happening for me big is the roadside stand. I mentioned that this year is going to be my first year having a roadside stand outside in front of my house where I'm going to be selling mainly cut flowers, bouquets of the things that I'm growing outside. And this is actually really exciting for me. I know that it's a lot of work. So far it has been a lot of work, but it's something that I'm loving it so far. And I already have so many things planted outside, cool flowers that is, for the bouquets that I am going to be making. Things like snapdragons, lisianthus, ranunculus, buplerium, stock, saponaria, feverfew, statice, amidara, and straw flowers. I believe that's it. And obviously the tulips. And I am growing a lot of them. I'm growing a lot of flowers. And a lot of these flowers are new to me. A lot of these flowers that I am already growing, I have had experience with them before. But a lot of these are new to me. And I know that next year, half of these will not make the cut. This year, I just really want to grow as many flowers as I can so that I can see which ones are easier to grow, which ones become my favorites to grow, so that I can just grow them year after year. But my biggest concern right now is actually making the roadside stand. I don't have a huge property and I need to be able to move this roadside stand by myself. I do not want to ask my kids or my husband to help me move this thing every time I'm planning to sell flowers. So mobility and size are a huge thing for me. So I joined a couple of Facebook groups for people that have roadside stands, and it actually has been super helpful getting to know people that do this year after year, because I have learned a lot. I have taken a lot of tips from them, but the key right now is for me to have my husband help me make this roadside stand. And I do have a lot of ideas, but it's obviously going to come down to size and what's the easiest to move around. On top of all of this going on top of all the new things that I am doing when it comes to gardening, I still have the things that I do year after year, like cleaning the flower beds, pruning, adding fertilizer here and there, planning where I am going to put new containers, planning where I'm going to be shopping for plants, what new things I want to get for vegetables. Like I said, April is just kind of a big month for me. And I know March is going to be a little bit more relaxed because I am not going to have the pressure of the seedling sale. Once that's done, I feel like I'm going to be able just to breathe. Hopefully I sell most of the flowers, most of the plants that I have growing, because I have a lot. I feel like I have a lot. So that's it. I think that's all of the things that I wanted to share with you as far as April goes and the things that I have going on in the garden. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you until the next time.